So you're thinking about moving to Orlando, Florida, and you've heard so many different stories, what is real and you're not sure what's not real? Well, stick around because on this video, we're gonna be talking about the top 7 myths debunked, and we're getting to it right now. My name is June Kranick, and on this channel we do videos every single week of what it's actually like to live, to work, to eat, to sleep, to play, all things as it's related to Orlando and Central Florida. So if that's the information that you want and need, well then do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and click the bell below so that you're notified every time we do a new video. We have people calling us every single week, and my team and myself, we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about moving to Orlando or Central Florida in general, well then shoot us a text, give us a call, send us an email, however you wish to connect, because we got you covered when it comes to moving to Orlando and Central Florida. So number 7 is that everybody here loves the theme parks and goes to the theme parks. That's probably the biggest myth that I've heard from all the different people that call or that are moving into the general area. A lot of them have a propensity to want to go to the theme parks. Well, I got a little news flash for you. Some of us don't go to the theme parks and don't love the theme parks. Now, don't get me wrong. I love that Disney has made Orlando one of the greatest cities to me in the United States. And then Universal followed, and SeaWorld and Holy Land, which by the way, I think Holy Land closed. And you get my drift. And to be fair, I grew up in Florida, and I remember the first time my dad said, "We're taking you to Disney World." We drove from Clearwater, and literally my parents had to pull over because I had to throw up because I was so excited to go to Disney World. I've been to Disney World so many times. I know the songs, I know the sayings in like the Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean. You get my drift. So some of us have been saturated with the theme parks as a kid, and some of us just don't like the heat and the crowds. There used to be a time in Orlando where you could actually go to the theme parks and it was slower. There were times of the year, January, September, May, those are great months to go. And now there is literally no slow time at the theme parks, pandemic or not. So that is why it comes in at number 7, is that everybody in Orlando, Florida loves the theme parks. Coming in at number 6, there are only jobs at the theme parks. And that is absolutely incorrect. Actually, well, to be fair, Disney does have 70,000 jobs, and that is for all of it, for the theme parks, for the retail, for the restaurants, for the hotels. So there is a lot of jobs there. Universal is about in half. They have 35,000 employees all in. Orlando is becoming a much more diverse area, and there's some really interesting things that are happening in the Orlando area. First of all, we're becoming much more diverse. One of them being that there's more tech jobs, there's a lot of health care, the healthcare industry, nurse, doctor, whatever it is, x-ray technician, I don't know, the list goes on and on when it comes to healthcare. So this area is becoming much more diverse. There are a lot of very cool things happening. We're getting some more high-end hotels coming in, so it's bringing a different kind of client. So in general, Orlando is very diverse. So that is why it comes in at number 6. That is, there's only jobs at the theme parks. Coming in at number 5, all of the real estate in Orlando is super inexpensive and or cheap. Wow. I think a lot of people are having a very rude awakening. This area for a long time was pretty reasonable, but it's not anymore. The amount of calls that I get, and it's more local, not relocation, but local, the amount of calls that I get for I want a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, fenced-in yard, preferably with a pool, on an acre of land. What is your budget? $285,000. That's a unicorn. And as I say, I've said it before, you know, you're not gonna get it. I wanna be 30 again, but I'm not gonna be 30 again. That's probably not gonna happen. Many people keep waiting for the housing crisis or for the housing market to crash, which it goes in ebbs and flows. What goes up must come down. But it is predicted in 2022 that it will not go down, that it will continue to stay the same, if not rise a little. So it is a little different than maybe purchasing in Washington, D.C. You can't get a shack for $500,000, but it is no longer that you can get a 3,000 square foot pool home for a couple $100,000. It just doesn't exist. So that's why it comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, there are so many bugs in Orlando, Florida. Okay, so let's be real. There are bugs in Florida. There's a lot of bugs. I mean, to me, there's not a lot of bugs, but I just went and Googled the top 5 most prominent bugs in New York. It's the carpenter ant, the spotted lanternfly, termite, silverfish, and the German cockroach. So, to be fair, there are bugs everywhere. Florida has bugs in certain areas more than others. To me, the worst is mosquitoes because they make you itch. But besides that, Betsy Cranick, that is my mother, taught me how to keep bugs out of the house. You always rinse out any kind of soda can or anything syrupy, rinse out your bottles, and try not to throw food in the trash. Kind of makes sense, it doesn't attract bugs. Most places now do have garbage disposal, use them. If you look online, it tells you that garbage disposals are designed to, you know, shred the food and go down the disposal. So I'm not sure about recycling as far as it goes for the environment. I certainly am environmentally concerned. So if that's an issue, please don't be mad at me. But as far as it goes, I throw everything down that garbage disposal except for, you know, like corn on the cob or something like that. So when it comes to bugs, I think we have just as many bugs as any other area, but that's why it comes in at number 4, because there's just so many bugs in Florida. If you're getting any value out of this video, do me a favor and hit that like button and comment below and let us know what videos you want to see next so that we can get them out to you right away. Also, if you can put down in the comments who your favorite Disney character is. Coming in at number 3, there's no money to be made in Florida. Florida pay sucks. Well, part of that's true, and thanks to the pandemic, we've made great strides because basically people said, we're not going to go back to work unless you pay me. So, therefore, a lot of companies have had to up their game. So we're talking about average jobs. There's now a lot of sign-on bonuses and incentives to get people to go back to work. There are a lot of high-income jobs coming to this area that are already here. Tech jobs. There's all kinds of stuff when it comes to technology. And I don't know if you're familiar with the timeshare industry, but the timeshare industry pays astronomical amounts of money. We are the timeshare capital of the world, the Mecca. There's easily over 50 timeshare resorts. So those are high-paying jobs, multiple 6 figures. There is money to be made in Orlando. Also, real estate. That's what one hopes for. Of the real estate industry is also, but it's one of those things where it's feast or famine. Now, the other area that I want to talk about is contractors, plumbers, electrician, painters. If you're a great handyman, you will have more work than you know what to do with. When I reach out to my handyman, I have to wait a month before he can come here. There is so much building, so much going on in that industry. I was thinking about getting a contractor's license. I swear, that industry is, you will never be out of work. Never, ever. Because not only are there new homes, but there's existing homes that want to be renovated and on and on and on. And then lastly is, I've always said Orlando is the land of opportunity. If you are an entrepreneur, think about it. Think about the amount of people that come here, that need food, that need, transportation, that stay in hotels, that stay in Airbnb, that stay in condotels. The list is pretty large. And it looks like even though there may be a variant here and a variant there, we're maybe getting to the tail end, or people are just tired of staying home. So when it comes to Orlando, the number 3 myth that we're going to debunk today is that there's no money to be made in Orlando, Florida. Number 2 is traffic's not that bad. What? Again, so here are the statistics. In 2019, 76 million people visited Orlando, Florida. That's not to mention everybody that already lives here, which I'm not even sure how many that is right now. But 76 million additional folks came to Orlando, Florida. In 2020, that was almost in half. Why? Pandemic. Yes, even in the pandemic, we did over half those numbers. But that still was that is the lowest number since 1995. In the first half of 2021, 59 million people have visited Orlando, Florida, which is up 223% since the prior year. And that's in the first 6 months. We may hit a record, 100 million. That's a lot of people. So with that being said, the traffic is intense, and it's all time of day, and it's all seasonal, because there are times of year where the traffic isn't so bad around the theme park area. And there are times of year, which by the way, the busiest 2 weeks of the year in Orlando, Florida is Christmas week and New Year's week, which I found shocking, that you want to stay away from the theme park area as far as I-4 and 429 and whatnot, because the traffic is intense. So I've heard people say either there's a lot of traffic or there's not a lot of traffic. And we did get a little spoiled during the pandemic. We drive around, it's not that bad. Well, guess what? People are back going, to their jobs, to the offices, back out, and the traffic is pretty intense. So I always say, now I did live up in DC for 3 years, and nothing for me compares to that. I also went and stayed a week in Los Angeles, California, and I have never seen traffic like that. It was worse than DC. We were in bumper to bumper traffic at midnight. So it's all relative and it's all comparative, but there is a lot of traffic in Orlando, and that's why it comes in at number 2, as there's not much traffic in Orlando, Florida. Coming in at number 1 is it doesn't ever get cold in Orlando, and it's always sunny, and it's always about 85 degrees, and it's perfect. Well, it gets cold here. And I did move up to the north, and I loved it. And by the way, I thought snow was the most magical thing I've ever seen, and everyone around me was like, I hate snow. They hated snow up there. I loved it. I would do the angel in the snow and run around outside with my dogs, because I just thought it was incredible. Bearing in mind, it gets cold there. But in Florida, it gets to be a wet cold, a damp cold, and it chills you to the bone. This morning, or I should say yesterday morning, which by the way, yesterday was November 30th, 2021, it was 47 degrees. So it does get cold in Florida, and I can't wait till it gets cold. I worked in the hospitality industry for many years, and people would come down in the winter months and they were pissed because they were like, I can't believe it's this cold. It's 35 degrees, which it's only 35 once in a blue moon. And it's like, sorry, but it does get cold in Orlando, Florida. And just so you know, there's 233 days last year in the year that it was sunny and 100 days of rain. So there's a mixture. And, I've talked about how hot it gets, and I promised when I moved back down from DC that I would never, ever, ever, ever complain about the heat again, even though some of us handle it better than others. When I was a kid, loved the heat. As an adult, hate the heat. But you know what? It is what it is. I love the taxes in Florida, and I'm never leaving again. But anyway, that is the number one that's the number one myth that I hear, is that it never gets cold in Orlando, Florida. Wrong. So today we were talking about the top 7 myths debunked when it comes to Orlando, Florida. But if that's not really what you're looking for, it's not really your jam, well, you gotta let us know. You've gotta reach out, you've gotta, or put down that in the description, whatever it may be, and let us know what it is that you're looking for. That's what we're here for. We're here to make your relocation process as smooth, seamless, and painless as humanly possible. So remember, if you're thinking about moving to Orlando or Central Florida in general, then shoot us a text, give us a call, send us an email, however you wish to connect, because we got you covered when it comes to moving to Orlando and Central Florida, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye now.